Hey, Chadi Bazzi here, and welcome to another episode of the Top Listing Agent Show. Today's episode is going to be a little bit different, and I want you to pay very close attention to what I'm about to share with you. So, up until now, we've recorded hundreds of these episodes, and in those episodes, I've given you the strategies, I've given you the mindset, I've given you the skills, but today, I want to give you the truth. Because before I became a top coach, before I built this business, before I started taking listing after listing, there was a time where I almost quit. Today, I'm going to share with you the 3 things that saved my career and how they can save yours too. But I'm not just going to give you the bullet points. I'm going to tell you the real story, the one that changed everything for me. So let me take you back, way back into time right now. Back to the time where I just got licensed. I was super young, I was super excited, and I walked into my broker's office ready to take on the world. I said, let's go, give me the system. You know what they handed me? You've heard way too many stories like this one. They handed me a phone book full of names, what they used to call a breather way back in the days. They said, start calling and ask the people that pick up the phone if they want to buy and or sell. That's it. No training, no script, nothing. Sounds familiar? I bet it does. So what did I do? I sat down and I started dialing because I was determined. I was committed. I wanted to take over the world. However, when I sat down and I started dialing, I was scared, I was sweating, and I was determined. All these emotions packaged into one big emotion. So what did I do? I pounded the heck out of the phones. I made about 2,000 calls. That's how long it took me to get my first appointment. And when I booked the first appointment, man, was I pumped. I would have done a backflip if I can do backflips. So what did I do? I did my little song and dance. I called up my homies, I called up my boys, I called up my family to celebrate. Celebrate the victory of finally having a breakthrough, and that is an appointment, a real lifting appointment. But a few minutes later, that excitement actually turned into a crippling fear. And I'm like, what do I say when I get there? I've never done a listing presentation before. Am I gonna look stupid? You know exactly what I'm talking about. So I froze. And you know what happened? I never showed up to that listing appointment. I skipped my first listing appointment because I was scared out of my mind. That night, I sat in my car and had a conversation with myself, and I said to myself, enough is enough. That pain, that regret that I was feeling in that moment, what did it do? It woke me up. And I said to myself, this will never, ever happen again. I'm gonna master this game of real estate. I'm gonna become a top listing machine. And I really meant it with every ounce of my being. So I asked myself the question, who's the best agent in this marketplace? And I went and got a meeting with that person. I sat across the table, had a great conversation, and this is what he told me 15 minutes into the conversation. You're too ghetto to work for me. Yes, that's exactly what he said. He said, you're too ghetto to work for me. But instead of kicking me out of the office, he handed me a cassette tape. It had like 16 cassette tapes in it. It was the Mike Ferry Superstar Retreat recordings. Now, at that time, I was also delivering pizzas to make ends meet. So I had a lot of hours in the car all day, every single day. And I listened. And as I listened to the tape over and over and over and over again until I had it memorized. And then something finally clicked. I started to see myself differently. I started to think differently. I started thinking, why work for this guy when you can go work for Mike? So what did I do? I went all in all over again. I did something crazy. I sold my house. I packed my car and I drove from Detroit to Newport Beach, California, of which I've never, ever been in California before. I knew absolutely not a single soul in this state. I had no plan B on the horizon whatsoever, but I had something I've never had before. I now had the purpose. I had the drive. I had the clarity, and I had that burning fire inside of me, and I came out here and I committed myself to the study of the art and science of influence, the art and science of what it takes to have the right mindset, the right skill set, to put together the right systems and go all in on real estate. And then I made the ultimate sacrifice. I put my 4 or 5-year-old son at that time on a plane back to Detroit to be with his grandparents so I could rebuild our future. And you know what? That was the hardest decision I've ever had to make in my life. But I made it because I knew if I do not do this right now, we're both going to suffer later. So I landed back in California, day one in the office. You know what I did? I pulled every single for sale by owner and every single expired within a 90-minute drive. And I made calls from 8 a.m. to 7 p.m. that first day. No breaks, no excuses. I had nothing else to do but bet on me. And guess what? That day, I booked an appointment. The next day, I took that listing. So first 24 hours, listing taken in a brand new market because I was all in. So what are the 3 things that saved me and can save you? Let's go ahead and break it down right now. Number 1, I took full responsibility. No blaming the broker, no whining. If it was gonna happen, it was on me. That mindset gave me power. So here's the question I have for you. Are you taking responsibility? Are you blaming the broker? Are you still whining? Are you blaming the marketplace? Because all those things are taking your power away from you. You gotta get yourself to the place to where you take full responsibility and say to yourself, if it is to be, it is up to me. The second thing, I became obsessed with skills. I didn't try to wing it anymore. I knew that stuff just flat out did not work. I studied, I practiced, I trained like a maniac day in and day out because confidence comes from competence. Confidence comes from competence. And boy, did I lack the confidence. And boy, did I want the confidence. And when I figured out that if I commit myself to study, practice, when I knew beyond a shadow of a doubt, and I created that belief system that if I study and I practice, I'm going to become this very confident, skilled person, I went all in on that. Again, confidence comes from competence. The third thing I did is I bet everything on me. I sold my house. I left my son. I drove across the country because I believed if I give this everything I've got, it's gonna work. And you know what? It did. So what does this really mean for you, the listener here to the podcast? Let me talk to you now in a completely different way and ask you these questions again, because I could never ask them enough and you could never answer them enough. Where are you at right now? Are you still blaming the market? Are you still scared to pick up the phone and make the phone calls? Are you waiting for things to get easier? Well, let me be real with you. No one's coming to save you. You really don't need saving. You just need to go all in on you. I did it. Thousands of agents I've coached over the course of the last 25 years have done it. And I'm here to tell you today that today, now, it's your turn. You're one appointment away from confidence. You're one commitment away from consistency. You're one decision away from a whole new life. So the question is, are you ready to make that decision? And you better have answered yes. So to close out this episode, I'm gonna ask you, did this episode hit for you? Did it make you feel something? Did it shake you up? Did it wake you up? Because if it did, I wanna hear from you. I want you to send me a direct message on Instagram and tell me that you're ready to go all in on you now. And I will reply and I will have a conversation with you because I do want to see you win. And if you're ready to stop guessing and start building something real, I want you to check out Real Estate Sales Mastery course. And you can check it out at realestatesalesmastery.com. Inside, I'm going to walk you through step by step how to generate leads every single day, how to set appointments, like literally 3 to 5 listing appointments every single week, how to start taking a minimum of 1 listing every single week and becoming the agent that wins consistently. Now, the only thing I can tell you about real estate sales mastery is this isn't just a course. It's your new foundation. So until next time, take full responsibility, master your craft, bet on yourself, and go dominate your market. Let's go.